Alright guys, welcome back. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot of changes to a lot of characters. We got a lot of system changes. I'll only go over the ones I feel are important. And we got a teaser for the new character, and the new character is Twice. Just a little bit of like a 3-second clip of him just kind of moving, so that's really cool. I'm sure we already know all his abilities from data miners and stuff, but I'm gonna stay away from that because I like to just kind of speculate and have a lot of fun. But it looks like he's gonna be a little bit of a kind of mirage kind of deal with Apex. Where you can maybe send them out, or we have an ability where we just create maybe an AI version of ourselves. I'm really not sure. But let's go over all the new balance changes.
There's an enemy. Coast is clear.
So going over the character balance changes, we're going to start with Aizawa first. All they really did was make a small adjustment visually to Aizawa. When he's in the middle of his gamma, we can clearly see he deflects bullets a little more clearly now. That's all it was, just to make sure that people know that is a feature of his gamma. So again, if we use this, we can see a huge block from Deku there. Again, huge block. So if you didn't know Aizawa could do that, hopefully this helped you learn, because it is a crazy thing that he can do, and it does keep him and maybe his teammates very safe. Next up is All Might, and all they did was increase the what they're calling the blowback distance, or the blowing distance. They increased it from when you hit someone with your gamma, as long as they have their shield. So if they have their shield up and you hit them with a gamma, they're gonna go back a little further. It looks like they're going up higher, maybe to give you the opportunity to either land your beta or your alpha. Let's say they don't fast get up, I can alpha one more time and maybe even beta. But of course, that's really a small change, but it does give him some nice combo potential. Next up is Bakugo. They decrease the amount of damage that the opponent takes when you hit them by penetrating something, so shooting through something. And of course, the angles are very weird when you do this, if it's not a wall. But as you can see, I'm doing 21 damage. Normally, I am doing 81, but when I shoot through something, I am doing 21. So they definitely decreased the amount of damage on that. I did get 41 right here. I don't know if that's like, I mean, you saw that. I really don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong and it's 21. Now, see, that's definitely a 41. I was assuming maybe it depends on what it passes through, and then the damage decreases through that. So maybe like the thickness of something, but I have no idea. The point is they did decrease it, and I am glad they did so, because sometimes I just die from a random Bakugo that's shooting through a random wall. For Cementoss, his beta has been touched. Basically what they did is they increased the height limit installation for his beta. So I don't exactly know what this means. This doesn't necessarily look taller, but what I think they did is they made it a lot better depending on where like the ceiling is for your beta. As you can see here, right? Height, then it reached the ceiling right here, so it went down. I almost thought there was a subway thing on the map, and then back up after it's obviously reached past this point. So I think they just made it a little better at kind of knowing where the height limit is. Also, before in season 2, at least a lot of times for me, when I would use my beta under something like this, it would generate but then break right after. Whereas this has now stayed. I think sometimes it worked, but most of the times, for me anyways, maybe I was just unlucky, it would not work, so I think they fixed that. They also say if used at a height where it cannot be installed, one will be generated and then broken after. I'm not sure what this means exactly. Maybe they're talking about the skybox, where if I were to use this, but it's just not gonna let me use it, it will generate to maybe do the damage to someone, but then it will break apart because it's not supposed to be in that height limit. But yeah, that's my understanding of it. If it's not correct or you understand something different, please let me know in the comments down below. Next up is a base Deku, or yellow Deku, whatever you want to call him. Basically what happened is when you use one black whip, the reload speed for the black whip, so for his gamma, is decreased. So when you only use one, or slash when you have one other available, this only is a thing at level 9 because you only get 2 at level 9. But if we use both black whips and it goes to 0, the reload speed has been increased from before. So it goes a little bit faster when you're at 0 and a little bit slower when you only use 1. So kind of just a little change right there, nothing too crazy, but it does kind of make you either use both or one depending on your situation. All right, next up is Momo. What they did to her is pretty crazy, but very, very much needed. They increased the reload speed of her beta, so you're gonna have more shields out as well. And a lot of you might be thinking, what? No, her shield's OP. Well, they made it so that we can now get hit in the back while we're doing this. So you can see my shield is going down. If the AI Bakugo actually hits me, maybe I gotta be a little closer. I will go right here. They can hit you in the back now, so that's really good. As you can see, I take damage. That's a very, very much a great change. I hate when I get behind a Momo or just roll behind her. I should be able to hit them when, you know, their back's turned, but I might make Momo a little weaker, but she's still very, very strong. Also, they increased the attack range of her Gamma. I'm not sure if this just means in general I can, you know, I can go straight up. What the hell? I did not even know this. I've never tried this before, but you can go straight up, I guess, if you wanted to bait people and it would come back down. But we can go a lot further with this now. I don't know maybe if it means the mini cannon spread, but I'm just going to assume that we can launch these at a further distance now. Alright, we got a couple things about Iida. First things I want to say is, for those of you that do know, you can still do the Iida thing, which is unfortunate. But the card thing is still a thing as well. If you level up while your Gamma is activated, it will cancel and you can have another chance at using your Gamma. But for the actual changes they made, I think they just did this to make it easier for Iidas to hit, which is interesting. It felt pretty easy already, but the blowback distance, as you can see, for when I land my Alpha, as long as they have a shield, has been increased, so they go pretty damn far. And I guess the time it takes for them to be able to basically fast get up, they call it something weird, like time break strike or something, but basically like a fast get up, your iframes run out, they can press spacebar and right there, that little flip. The time it takes for them to be able to do something has been increased, meaning that they can't do it too quickly. So this little combo right here is going to be easier to land, right? Just 2 alphas beta. The other thing they did to his beta, it's a little weird. The wording's interesting, but I tried to set up some situations to understand it. What it says is the duration of the super armor has been changed so that it lasts until the attacker, which is Iida, finishes triggering the attack. Now there's a couple things that you might say triggering the attack is if the attack lands or when you just press it and he's in kind of the motion. I kind of tried to show off the All Might in me here. You've seen it a couple times already, where I'm doing it at the last second. So I still have super armor, as you can see, and it still goes through. But I've tried it against like Momo shield and stuff like that, and Momo shield's obviously gonna beat me like that. But you still have super armor on his beta. I'm just really not sure how to take this. So again, if you understand this better, please in the comments down below, let us all know. Alright, this Kendo buff or adjustment, whatever you want to call it, was 2 seasons too late, man. Because they finally, apparently, we're about to test it, made it so that we can block Iida's beta. So let's see if we can do this. Let's see, there it is. Okay, clean block, let me see if I can like adjust where I'm gonna go. I think when they run out of it. Let's increase the size a little bit here. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna like look this way. Nice, bro. Okay, Kendo mains, we cooking, bro. Y'all are eating. All right, bro, because I hated the fact that this would go through my stuff. I believe even that. Okay, that's. Wait, hold up, bro. Hold on. I'm gonna have to sit right here and see. Okay, all right. just had to see if we had a Momo situation. All right. It just must have been the way I was looking at it. Okay, so you can still hit him from the back, which is great. All right, now I know a lot of you probably want to know if they did this. This wasn't in the patch notes, but I am curious myself, and we're gonna have to find out. Let's go ahead and put it at level 9 because obviously we gotta see. So you can block it, but now here's the bigger question. I think if I'm like close though, the startup initially goes through my shield and hits me just like that. Yep. So if he's close enough, it will hit. Let's try and go like from here. So I feel like they need to fix this. I guess I can get close to Iida and see if he does the same thing. Nah, see, I wasn't even, nah, see, I was like this. That should stop it. That should stop it. Let's go ahead and switch to Iida, see if that's still a thing there. Make him do his beta. Alright, I'm gonna go real close to him. I think that was it right there. So maybe obviously you can't be too close, but I guess Kendo mains okay, see right there, it didn't work. So why, okay, but it worked right there. Interesting. I don't know how they can fix it, but I realize if they get that close, you usually should be in range to gamma them, and you should, you know, be winning that. But still, just I don't like it if they can get like, obviously if they can get like on me, that's fine. But like right here, like Deku can hit me right here. Iida, I don't think can, right? But if he's like obviously right here, that's fine. That makes sense. All right, Ochaco got hit with a pretty big nerf and then a really good buff that I actually think she needed and I do enjoy. The nerf is the attack range on her beta, guys. Watch this. This would have hit in Season 2. I'm above him, and it would have hit. That's crazy. We can also check the height. It's a little difficult, but that would have also hit back in the day, right? Ochaco mains know, or anyone that's just been bullied by Ochaco, right? The other thing they talk about is the hit detection has been increased. I'm not sure what that is. Wow, that should have hit in Season 2. If you guys know in the comments, please let me know. My thing is maybe like it takes a while before it comes out and then it will hit. I'm really not sure. Or maybe it's just talking about the hitbox, I don't know. But the other big buff I was talking about is the buff to her Gamma, which they buffed the range in all levels. So as you can see right here, that little pink circle is the range, and that circle I think was comparable to maybe like a level 7 or even level 9 Season 2 Gamma, right? And if we go to level 9, we can see the circle is huge. I love it. If you drop it, of course, it didn't even pick Momo up, and if I drop it, it did hit Momo, so that's really cool. Why I like this is because you don't see a lot of Ochacos doing the combo anymore, because it's kind of hard to land. You Gamma, you go in with this, you hit him twice with the car, and then you Gamma again. Now, it's going to be a little difficult to land because of the changes to the beta, but that's just going to prove the better Ochaco players from the rest, right? I'm not a good Ochaco player. I missed right there, so we can clearly see that difference. I like this change with Ochaco. She's probably going to feel a lot more balanced now. Shiggy got a little adjustment to his special action. When you do land it, the blowback distance or the knockback distance has been decreased. I think this is just maybe to help him land just an alpha better, or just like a quick Gamma. I don't think you can do anything crazy by landing the special action into a melee. I don't think you can combo it because it does automatically put them in the state of iframes. You might be able to. I don't know. I've never tried it. Maybe off a high distance, but I can't do something like that, right? So just a small little adjustment to them. Just I guess maybe help them be closer in melee range. All right, Toga got adjusted quite a bit for her alpha. I guess they wanted to adjust the throwing knife speed to be the same as a level 9. So if we look right here, I'm gonna try my best. You just kind of time it. It's just kind of like a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, right? And if we go to level 9, it's the same speed, just more daggers, and you'll obviously do more damage. So 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, right? It's just kind of the same speed. The other thing they did here, I guess it was a struggle for some players, I don't really know, but the second part to Toga's dash here, right here, you can stop now by just holding the down button or just like walking backwards. Before, I usually just stopped it by just hitting Q again, or even just, I mean, obviously you can hit Q and then not do the second part to that. I'm not really sure why they did this. Maybe some people were struggling in stopping it, but if we just let this go and then I just let go of Q, or my beta, it just will stop. So I mean, I used to hold my Q and do this, right? So, and I let go and it stopped. So I'm not sure why they did that. Maybe some people were struggling. All right, now the Gamma is probably the most interesting change. So what they did is we can no longer transform by pressing our Gamma. We have to press our special action. So as you can see right in the bottom right, I have no option to transform. I can throw out my Gamma again, and I could probably get someone else's blood. Maybe we can test that right now. But if I wanted to transform, I would have to press my special action. So that's just the switch they did. So let me see if I can just get Momo's blood here, and it switches. So it does switch to Momo's blood there, and if I press my special action, I am now Momo. The other cool thing they did is every level 1 through 9 for your Gamma, the time it takes for your transformation to run out is the same through all levels. That could be looked at as a nerf and a buff. Basically, if you were level 9, right, it would last a pretty long time. If you're level 1, it would last pretty low. But now, level 1, it will last the same as level 9, right? You can double crouch to get out of it again. The other thing I did want to test is if I do down somebody, I gotta see if I can still use my special action on the ground. Alright, so they're down on the ground, I believe. Yep, there's bloodsuckers, so I can still do this, and it will come to me in my special action. Now, I guess we should figure out how much damage, the damage decrease is like, there's not even really a worthwhile reason to level up the Gamma unless it's just the damage. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to be doing that much to the shield. Okay, that much. Let's go ahead and get his shield back up. We're going to get his to level 9 here. And I'm going to make sure he does that. Let's see the damage difference. So yeah, the only reason you're going to be leveling up your Gamma is to get increased damage. There's no other reason to do so, as far as I can tell. If you're going to say, wait, Stray, what about reload speed? Well, most Toga players should know this, but when you use your E, right, and you transform right away, and then you detransform, your Gamma's back up again. So theoretically, you could just keep, like, doing this and just keep spamming this, right? There's no honest need for the reload speed. Now, of course, if you miss, right, it goes that far, you don't have your Gamma, right? And then maybe, of course, leveling up will help it come back faster. But it's a pretty damn hard ability to miss, so I don't think this is a huge thing. It seems like they really want you to use Toga's transformation a lot more, and they don't want to restrict you on earlier levels to make you maybe waste your cards. So that you can use like her main quirk, right? So overall, an interesting change. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess it's kind of cool. I don't really have an opinion on it, or a strong one at least. So yeah. All right, we got a little bit of an adjustment to Sue, and I think Sue players are gonna like this. It's a lot easier to land her beta now while you're in the air. So they've made it so it automatically tracks the player or the opponent, kind of like Iida's kicks in a way, sort of. You can still miss it, so let me give you the easiest example. So I'm right here, I'm aiming right here. Normally this is where my beta would go, but if I'm in the air and I'm at least in range of him to land, it's going to automatically turn and hit him right there, as you saw. Now obviously you can still miss, right? If I'm going this way and I do that, I'm going to miss. But it should be a little easier to land it now. You can land that one full combo, you know, alpha, then beta, right? And I missed right there, just got a little away from me. Now the next thing they say is the air raid attack has been increased, or sorry, the blowback distance has been increased when hitting an opponent with a shield. And the only thing I can assume that the air raid attack is her jump melee when I do this. Now, what happened is usually, I think before, when people did land this, at least on with the shield, the opponent actually recovered a lot faster than Froppy did herself. But now if we see, because I do a little stylish backflip there, which I don't even know if it hits people maybe behind me. When I do this and land it, we got to do the little air thing, we both kind of get up at the same time, right? So I'm able to move and he's able to move at the same time, whereas before, I believe anyways that the opponent was able to move before Froppy. Now you might see that like I'm sometimes not doing that little backflip. That's just kind of where you hit them on the ground. Sometimes you can get that. Alright, so the shield's down. Let's go ahead and air melee, and they just get knocked down right away. So that's, yeah, so that's, I think, essentially what it was. They just wanted to give Froppy more time to be able to get up and actually move before the opponent could just maybe, like, if it was, say, a Bakugo or Deku, they might be able to land one alpha on her as they fast get up before she can actually do anything. The last character to get a change is Denki, and I have no idea what this is. I'm not gonna, I've tried to take the time to understand it, but guys, if you know in the comments, you understand, please let me know. Maybe I'm stupid. But Denki's fighting attack, whatever that is, maybe it just attacks that do damage, adjusted so that fighting attacks will hit at all levels, so the fighting attack apparently has a level, when trying to hit fighting attacks after triggering his Gamma. So adjusted so that fighting attacks will hit at all levels when trying to hit fighting attacks after triggering his Gamma. So when I trigger my Gamma and I do fighting attacks, my alpha is supposed to hit. I have no idea, guys. Just let me know. Next, we're going to go over some system improvements I feel that we can actually talk about and that's worth discussing. So for ranked, they actually changed it big time. It is no longer a solo feature. Normally you would rank up from doing as well as you could solo, right? KOs, damage, team items, right? Stuff like that. But now it is basically a team rank. So however well your team does, you also get those points to climb the ace rank if you want. So they basically changed it to evaluate the number of KO assists, the total number of KOs as a team, the ally support points, and then they also adjusted the cost to enter ranked points. Aim assist is either being nerfed or just adjusted. I don't know too much about it. I don't really play on console that much. It doesn't affect PC players, but I know for a fact that this might affect later in the future what they decide to do with crossplay. Next, some of you probably have noticed, but some of the UI has been changed. They added a KO assist to the top left where normally you would see how many KOs you had. You can also see your damage outright, and you can still see the spectating players as well as your own KOs, but you can also see your KO assists, as well as being able to see your teammates down other players or guard break them, so that's really nice. One change I absolutely do not like about this is they adjusted the character rental system. So the tickets where if I did not have a character, I could still use a trial version to play that character. They made it specifically, so they had a set amount specifically for characters. So characters that have been previously released consume 2 tickets, whereas ones that have been out for a long time only consume 1. So let's say you wanted to play Aizawa, Endeavor, you have to use 2 tickets, so you only get 1 game with them. You have to play a bunch of other games, and then eventually you'll get to play that game again. And then when when Twice comes out later in the season, we're gonna have to do the same thing if you don't get them. So they're really trying to either tell you, hey, save for the characters, or give us your money so you get the character. The other thing they did with aim assist on the PC version, if you are playing on controller on PC, you do have the option to have aim assist. So this is just another kind of hint in the direction that maybe they're working on crossplay, if not trying to at least see how people feel about it. Alright guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe. Sorry it's a bit of a long one. There are some other things I didn't mention that I just thought were important, and then some obvious things that I've already mentioned in other videos, like custom lobbies and then stuff like that. So please let me know if I missed anything. And for the balance patches for the characters, please, if you know what some of them were talking about that I didn't, feel free to comment down below. But guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all later. Season 3 has been pretty fun so far. Let's hope they can fix everything and adjust those bugs. And yeah, have a great one, guys.